What's up guys, Chasing Lamey here with episode number 1 of our FM23 beta series. This is the Bournemouth Supremacy. We are of course on the south coast in Bournemouth for probably 1 or 2 season blast through while we get used to the game and go and see what new features we've got. Hit like and subscribe, and do check out the other links on the channel because I have announced our main save this season. It's going to be a hexagon challenge with a difference because we're going to absolutely struggle. It's going to be an epic journey through all the corners of the globe. But hey, let's just get into it, shall we? So it's our first day on the job, the first day on FM23, and I've not really had a chance to go through anything yet, but setting up a tactic because I know it affects everything else, so we can go straight into the inbox and see where we stand in terms of news, in terms of things we need to know. So we've taken the Bournemouth hot seat. We've got a 2-year deal on $18,500 a week. We've replaced Scott Parker, and we lack the reputation of a survival specialist, which could always be an issue. I've set up a tactical style. It's a simple 4-2-3-1 gegenpress, nothing dramatic. This is brand new though. A supporters profile and supporters expectations on supporters profile, 10% hardcore, 33% core, 26% family, 11% fair weather, 2% corporate and 18% casual. I don't understand what that means, but the supporters have got high influence on the board. We've got 1 million followers on social media. That's new. Waiting list of 11,962 season ticket, 7,500 season ticket holders. We're expected to play possession football, play attacking football, be competitive against Southampton, and to attempt to avoid relegation from the Premier League. Let's see what these little IE tabs say about these. Hardcore supporters, of course, the most loyal part of the fan base. Core supporters represent the average football fan. Family, they tend to be temperate and patient. That's always good. Fair weather, they're especially impatient for success. Good stuff, great. So Manchester City's fan base presumably is all 100% fair weather fans. Corporate supporters are most interested in the club's stadium and marketability, and casual supporters are less passionate and loyal than the average fan. Cool. Club vision and expectations meeting. Work within the wage budget, grow the club's representation. We do have a thing saying we have an ownership thing that popped up as well. So there is something about the long-term ownership perhaps being in doubt, which maybe will bring some more money. Pre-season preparation. We are just doing a pre-season schedule of, I think we're going to do some normal. In fact, let's do some heavy, because I like a heavy pre-season. Hopefully the team comes in fitter in the long term. We're not going to cancel our training camp. We'll go to Germany. Why not? Injury update, we've got a couple of players who are out. Joe Rothwell, I have no idea who Joe, as I've said many times on the channel before, I don't watch Premier League football, so I don't really understand who Joe Rothwell is. He could be a great player, but I've never heard of him, so we'll go with Shaw. He's out for a while anyway, so he doesn't really matter. Squad selection rules, this could be interesting, minimum of 15 maximum, that's not changed at all, that's good. And window in progress, the biggest deal done so far has been Erling Haaland. So let's have a look at some of the new stuff, shall we? So we've got a squad planner now, which apparently replaces me doing it on an Excel spreadsheet and can tell us the current season squad depth for this, as well as for next season and the season after. I guess that's a thing. No, I'm not really doing recruitment process. Asked to suggest for everything, just to make sure we have done something. So we can see here in every position we've got on the pitch, these are the best players. I've got Jack Stevens in my squad. I haven't looked at my squad yet. I've got Jack Stevens in my squad. I do like Jack Stevens. I thought there was a rival with Bournemouth and Southampton. I don't know why that's the thing. So there we go. We've got a bunch of players in positions. We're not looking awful in depth, but we're not looking great. I'm not just clicking through, just having a look, having a nosy. Anything dynamics. For those of you who don't know, by the way, you can right-click on pretty much anything. And it will tell you all the sub things. So, experience matrix for the squad view. Development, I guess that's a player for the long term to come through, I guess. Yep, that looks good. Emerging talent, people who are at their peak, and experienced players. Junior Stanislas, the name I do actually recognise, is alright, I guess. But, you know, so green is used, blue is squad depth, and purple are important players. So apparently only 10 players are important to this team. I think I need to have a word with someone and be like, gosh, you need 11 people on the pitch. Then we've got our usual assistant reports there. That's all good. We'll get into that when you say there's nothing new in dynamics. Anything new in tactics? Nothing I can see. Anything new in Data Hub? Apparently the Data Hub was changed, I think I've been reading on Twitter. So we'll have a little look. After 3 matches we can get visual. It's got to be more useful than last year. Staff-wise, anything changed in the Staff Hub? I guess there's probably been a bit of something changed somewhere. This all looks like last year. That's good. Training-wise, again, like last year. Medical, nothing particular. There's an induction. I'm going to skip that because I'll figure it out for myself. There's nothing massive there that looks new. Schedule-wise, all looks the same. Those pre-season friendlies are largely terrible. Excellent. That's going to help us get used to the Premier League. Nothing there. Scouting-wise, I'm aware a lot of this has changed with recruitment focus. I'll get into that when I need to. It's not really an on-camera thing, I don't think. Same with transfers. Club info, anything new here? Nothing massive. I mean, Lloyd Kelly is apparently the club captain. I think he was at Liverpool, wasn't he? Is he a Liverpool player? Bristol City player. Well, that's him sold already. Good stuff. General stuff. Let's have a little look through here just to see if anything new has appeared. News we can get into as we get into it. And we have an 11,500 seater stadium, which is pretty poor. The game, by the way, seems to be in some kind of rivalry between Bournemouth and Swindon. I noticed this when I took the job, and I have never been aware of this being a thing. So it doesn't even show up on the page. He asked me about it. I was like, is it? I mean, I know they're semi-local, but they're not someone I care about. We've got affiliates in Switzerland and in Slovenia. That could prove useful. And history-wise, of course, we should look at the club's history because it's always a good place to start. They've won the Championship once, League One once, and the Papa John's Trophy once. So there is literally nothing of note in that trophy cabinet. That's excellent. Good stuff. I like a blank slate. We are, like I said, we're not worried about too much the club vision because the board are looking to sell the club. But I have spotted this new tab here. So we have the board feedback, which is pretty good. And then we have supporter feedback. And they're probably not super enthused. I did do some board requests before I started because I realised that I was going to need some more money. I'll look at the rest as we progress because I looked at the money first. We're £1 million transfer budget and £1 million per week wage budget and a £390,000 per year scouting budget. And I don't know if you've heard this, guys, but in the Premier League, that's pretty nothing. So I'm going to I tried to ask for some more money and some more other stuff. I may also ask if I can get some kind of something else in because, I mean, what do we think we're going to... I think we're probably going to need to improve the training facilities as a priority, so I'll ask for that as well. I'll let you guys know if any of that comes in. Development centre-wise, there's probably not a lot of note in the youth team. Also, there's just this one guy, James Hill, who I guess is a decent enough young centre-half who could be a good one. Let's look at the actual squad proper, though, because that's going to be important. So, goalkeeper-wise, I've got Nato, a Brazilian goalkeeper who is 32, who is the first choice in that position. He looks alright, nothing special, I guess. He's played once for Brazil, has played for Barcelona and Valencia and Juventus, and for Europe. Looks like I've just bought someone's backup keeper and gone, it'll do. Don't know about him for the Premier League, but he's decent enough. Centre-half wise, our best players are Marco Senesi, an Argentine international who's joined them from Feyenoord. Again, he looks decent, but nothing I'd describe as being special. He's got no pace, which is going to make him a problem in the Premier League at centre-half, so that's something to look at. We've also got Lloyd Kelly, who we highlighted before, who played for Bristol City, and therefore can only be assumed to be complete crap. Again, he's got no pace, which is going to be an issue. That's fun. Chris Mepham is a name I know because he was at Brentford, and I had a go at Brentford a couple of seasons ago. And again, has absolutely no pace, but a lot of caps for Wales. So excellent. I'm already seeing the problem could be defending here. Jack Stevens is a Swindon legend, and we love Jack Stevens. He will, of course, do very well. I can't believe he's still at Southampton and just being loaned out. You'd thought he'd have played for someone good by now. He seems to have less pace than I remember him having in real life, but we'll make the best of it because he's Jack Stevens. Who else have we got? Anyone else that can play centre-half? 4 centre-halves. Excellent. Right, let's look at full-backs. Ryan Fredericks. Well, at least he's quick and can play all the way up the right-hand side, so he could be of benefit to us down the line. Jack Stacey, the guy I know plays for Luton, because my friend Pete, frankly, wants to have his babies. So I know he must be a pretty good player. And again, actually does have some pace. So there's pace on the wide areas of the defence I'm already seeing. Adam Smith is primarily a right back, can also play left. I know this guy because he played for Leeds and Tottenham and stuff. I've come across this guy before on previous FMs. He developed into a decent player, but the fact that he's ended up at Bournemouth probably tells me that's not going to happen. He's also listed and wanted by Brighton and has no pace, and pace in the Premier League is quite vital, so I'll probably just let him go for the money. Jordan Zamora, left back, can run, like him. Zimbabwean international, previously with Charlton. I've got a feeling I've loaned him before on a previous series, but I don't remember fully, so he may not have done well for me. Okay, let's move into the defensive midfield. Ben Pearson, Manchester United, Barnsley and Preston as previous clubs, has, as a ball-winning midfielder, probably more or less, don't know that concentration or marking or tackling or pace. There's no pace in this squad. Why is there no pace in this squad? Gavin Kilkenny, is he a guy I can recall, or do I need to just not worry about him? I'm just going to not worry about him. Beautiful. Philip Billing, I know that name because he played for someone good at some stage, I think. Huddersfield? I mean, it wasn't them. It wasn't Esbjerg. Maybe I signed him for someone good. Maybe he was a wonder kid that turned good on other FMs. Answers in the comments. Let me know why I know the name Philip Billing. Either way, he's got 3 caps for Denmark and once again no pace. Does he do anything at all in a useful manner? I mean, not really. He's a very average championship-y type player. Like, he looks like the kind of player you'd sign in the championship. Lewis Cook, we all know Lewis Cook. He turns out to be good on almost every version of FM. Apparently, in real life, still just a very bang-average championship player. He's been capped for England, though, so there's potential there. Jefferson Lerma is a Colombia international. That's got promise. He's one of the better players in our squad, apparently. He's wanted by Roma and a bunch of mid-table Premier League sides, so potential there. Again, no pace. Why is there no one with pace? Genuinely, unless that's a lot through this series, I think. Why is there no one with pace? Emiliano Marcondes, the most Danish-sounding name I've ever heard. He's an attacking midfielder who he just does tricks. He doesn't do running. He doesn't do anything great in terms of shooting from distance or even up close. He just does tricks. He doesn't even create much. He's largely, I'm going to do an overhaul on this squad. I can already tell you now, I'm going to try and overhaul this squad as best I can. Joe Rothwell is a player who can play in centre midfield with some pace and has 0 passing ability and 0 stamina, but he works a bit hard. Bloody hell. I play for Oxford. That explains thoroughly why he's utter crap. Good. David Brooks, I know his name. He's a Welsh international and he played for Sheffield United and for Manchester City, and I've come across him before. And he can run, so he might survive. He does tricks mostly. He can sort of dribble. He can't cross, which is quite problematic for a winger. But he can create. We'll probably make something of David Brooks. That's good. That's another player to keep around. Junior Stanislas is the old man of the team. A guy who played for Burnley and West Ham and for Southend, apparently. Didn't know he played for Southend. A little bit of pace. Again, nothing special. And still can't cross. So I'm starting to feel out where this team has issues. Jaden Anthony. He's quick. He can play on a wing. He can kind of cross a ball. He has absolutely 0 vision. But he does have potential. So maybe I'll try and make some money on him. Maybe I'll try and develop him. Marcus Tavernier played for Milton Keynes Dons and Middlesbrough, so I'm already not a huge fan. Again, this squad is really average championship players. This guy has nothing standout that makes me think I should invest the time in developing him. Sariki Dembele, I'm regretting this already. Sariki Dembele played for Ayr and apparently a team that didn't exist. or maybe he just had a year out of the game. I'm not sure what happened there. He signed for Grimsby, signed for Peterborough, joined Bournemouth. I mean, he's quick, does tricks, can't do anything great. I'm going to try and overhaul this squad so badly. It's going to be an interesting pre-season. Ryan Christie is a name I know because he played for Celtic. And he is decent in a few areas. Apparently his best place is inverted winger on the right. Can he do the inside forward thing as well? Is it going to show me that? He can-ish. He might be a decent-ish. I need to see what a coach report says in terms of decent Premier League player. I mean, I guess I'd have him as a higher level Championship player. Maybe we do something with him. Jamal Lowe has played for every club. And look at this. I know it's small on that screen. He's played for every club under the sun. I mean, as recently as 6 years ago, he was playing in the Vanarama South and seems to have just flown up through the leagues somehow. Don't really understand how that happened. But he does have a little bit of pace. I guess we can make the best of it. That's probably the best we can do with him. That's a lot of players need signing here. Dominic Solanke, I know him because he played for Chelsea and for Liverpool and for Tess Arnhem, and has never been a great goal scorer in the Premier League, but apparently had a good season last year in the Championship. 29 goals last season, 15 the season before. Only scored once after Liverpool spent £6 million on him, and then somehow Bournemouth decided to spend 19 on him, and he only got 3 Premier. Great. Good. Right. Was he got anything redeeming about him at all? He's a little bit quick. He's a finisher. He has decent composure. He's a pressing forward apparently, but he's got a strength of 14. I don't know. I'll have to have a think about him. He's probably going to be a backup. He will be a backup in a decent Premier League side. And Kiefer Moore, which is a name I know, I think, because he did something good for Wales maybe at some point. I'm so clueless when it comes to Premier League football. I really am. Started at Truro, Dorchester, Yeovil, Viking in Norway. Okay, didn't score in Norway, which is a slow worry. Played for Forest Green. This guy's got an atrocious... Why didn't Ipswich spend £20,000 on him? I'm sure he got 5 goals in 4 games on loan at Torquay from Forest Green. Okay, I understand that. But he also only had 5 goals in 17 games for Forest Green that season. 2 in 16 the season before. Nothing in 11 in Norway. 3 in 30 in League One before that. Then 4 in 20 in the Championship. This guy's goal-scoring record, he's had 107 goals in 299 games. He's broken double figures, 4 times in his career? Once in the Vanarama South, twice in League One, and once or twice in the... I mean, he's had 1 good season of note, and you spent money on him. I don't understand it. That's a rubbish striker. That's everything about this guy says rubbish. He's just a big lad you can lump a ball at, and I don't think I need that in this team. So, I'm going to do an overhaul now, because there's genuinely nothing inspiring about that squad, and I feel like I can make better use of selling most of them than I can by keeping them. Anyone good? We looked at James Hill, I think. Dominic Sardi. No. Ferdinand Oko. No. Really, a lot of no there. Anything in the 18s. I'm going to sell a lot of these players. Right, guys, join me in a second. I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you the squad we're going to start the season with, ready for episode 2, where we'll play some football. So, stick around with me and we'll come back in a second and we'll see if I've done anything of use in the next few weeks to this squad. So we've made it to the first game of the season, which will be the next episode where we play Nottingham Forest. But I thought I'd very, very quickly go through the transfers that have come in and gone out. Because we have spent 25 million, we have made 6.5 in this window, which is fine, but obviously I've not been involved in all of those. So we sold Adam Smith to Brighton, we sold Emiliano Marcones to Midtjylland, and we've loaned Dominic Sadi to Doncaster, so we brought in 6.5 million in transfers out. In terms of players in that I've had an effect on, first one I brought in was Radamel Falcao. who we all know 101 caps for Colombia. He's 36 years old, no pace, which is, make him fit in with the rest of the squad. But all his Texan mentors are pretty good, so he will hopefully be able to lead the line for us if Solanke doesn't produce, because let's face it, Falcao at least has been known to score a goal or two. So I'm pretty happy with him as the first signing we made. The next signing I brought in was Fernando Llorente, 37-year-old striker, because I like the old men, apparently. Used to play for Spurs and Swansea, as we know. Also played for Juve, Bilbao. He's been with... I've figured out that Parthenope, by the way, is Napoli. I don't know how they got to Parthenope, but there we go. And he's been playing for Udinese and for Eibar. The goals seem to have dried up, but you can't knock that kind of experience in your squad, especially when it's going to at least help us have an option off the bench. We also signed Nathan Phillips for $2.8 million from Liverpool. He was on loan at Bournemouth last season, and he did pretty well for them, and I needed another centre-half. And Nathan Phillips at least comes with the benefit of having a little bit of pace and at least being a half-decent-ish central defender, which is pretty good, and he has got some room to grow, so he's going to give us an extra option at the back. There was kind of slim pickings in the transfer window, actually, because I couldn't scout people quick enough. That's what everything have changed on the game this year. You can't really scout people quickly. However, I did bring in this guy on trial because he was out of contract after being released by Al Ain, is Safir Taïda, who is an Algerian international defensive midfielder. He has been around a little bit, played for Grenoble in France, Bologna, Inter, Southampton on loan. I don't remember him being there, but there you go. Sassuolo, back to Bologna, and he has played in Montreal in the MLS, and like I said, spent last season in Saudi Arabia. So he's had a weird career. He actually has more pace than most of the players in our squad. He's also pretty decent over a penalty and indeed a free kick. He's pretty good over a dead ball in general. Decent passer of the ball, decent tackler, really will give us an extra option in that defensive midfield role, which will help us immensely and I think is a very, very good signing for us. And then finally, I brought in a youngster as well. I don't know if we'll ever get to see him fulfill his full potential, but if I had to guess on a player who looks like he might be a wonder kid of the future, Félix Lemaréchal is a French 18-year-old central midfielder who can play as an attacking midfielder. I've signed him for $1.6 million from Monaco. He's also been at Bordeaux on loan for, I think it was on loan unless they signed him. He was just signed from Bordeaux, though. He's only played once for Monaco last season. But I'm guessing they probably saw him as a youngster for the future. He has a very big potential star rating. He's not all there yet. I'll probably loan him out this season. But we'll see how far we get with this sale, because that'll probably be a couple of seasons at most. Maybe there is something there to find and know and love. I also have one more transfer that I am waiting on to go through with a work permit, and that is probably the worst signing I'll ever make, which is Raja Nainggolan. At least I can bum a fag off him. He does very much enjoy a smoke on the bench, as has been learned in the last few days. And good mentors, decent enough player, Belgian international, should be able to produce some good stuff. Is currently playing for Antwerp in Belgium, has been at Cagliari, has been at Inter, Roma, Piacenza. He's had a decent career. He's a decent player, and hopefully can fill in our midfield and just make the whole thing look much better, and we'll hopefully be able to get some kind of defensive stability in our defence, in our midfield, which is a benefit. Also, I've been upgrading the staff, because all of the staff that were here when I got here were absolutely terrible. So, if we have a little look at the new coaching team, you'll see what I mean when I tell you I've overhauled everything. Everyone is new. We've got some great ex-players in here too who have become coaches, including Nicky Butt, Darren Wassell. We've got Brian Klug, we've got Dennis Bergkamp, Joe Jordan, Lee Wallace, Carlos Queixada, who is pretty good in terms of his previous career, was at Wolves last season, been at Forest, been at Borough. He's been around, really good fitness coach, so I've brought in kind of a big overhaul on our coaching staff as well. Felt like the thing I haven't finished doing performance analysts and such, because I wasn't going to get there, but this whole bar was in the lowest before I overhauled this coaching staff, so I just need to do it to get some stuff done. Also, the final bit of news I've got is that the takeover looks like it's going to go through. We are currently, after where to find this now because they've moved it since I last needed it. We are currently in the process of a board takeover, and hopefully that'll go through and they'll come and they'll bring me some money before the end of the transfer window. Anyway, I'm going to wrap things up there. We will come back with the first game of the season very shortly. Yeah, we'll get through it together. So, thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you very soon. I've been Chasing Lane. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell, all that good stuff. And I'll see you very soon. Have a good one.